Welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to replace your inner and outer tie rod ends on your 94 Polaris Sportsman 400. You're going to need a 9/16 and 11/16 wrench. The outer tie rods, once you take the tires off, the outer tie rods have a cotter pin. You just remove the cotter pin. Then you're going to need your 11/16 to remove a nut on both sides. That's the right side. And that's the left side. I already took the cotter pin and nut off both ends. That's the outer tie rods, and then the inners are inside here. 9/16 nut on top, and the bolt that goes through it is 9/16 on the bottom. I turned my steering linkage. This is the front of my quad, so I turned the steering linkage all the way to the right. If I'm sitting on it, it'd be the right, just so I can get this down through here, because this bolt is rusted in there. I was only able to get the top off. So by me just loosening up this top nut, it should drop off. And I'll show you what I mean. It should just slide down and out. And because I already have the nut loosened up over here, should be able to just pull that off. So there's one there. And that one, let's just make sure nothing slides out with it. Nothing there. Same thing here. You might have to get your hammer out and tap this. Oh, that one came right out. And so that's the other one. Make sure you label them before you start. I would put a piece of tape on them or a Sharpie and just label the different sides you have. I'm going to put these on my bench, and I'm going to show you how to replace these inner and outer tie rods. Stay tuned. Okay, so here's the tie rod off. The other one is actually bent. This is the other one, so I'm going to have to order another one. You can see right there, it's pretty bent. Like I said, make sure you do label these so you know which side goes to which. So what you're going to have to do is, I would measure from outside. This is the inner tie rod. This is the outer. So measure from outside to outside. Take a measurement from here to here. I had 15.5 on mine. And also take a measurement from the inside of this nut to the inside of this one, and write that down somewhere before you begin. And I did check, these are exactly the same size this way, from inside to outside on both. I checked on both of them, so those match up pretty well. So I'm gonna pause it here for a minute and put this on the vise so we can loosen these up and replace them. Stand by. All right, so I put the tie rod in the vise. Loosen up this nut here. I'm just using a 9/16, and this one loosens up just like normal lefty loosey righty tighty. The other one does not. So I cracked it just enough to loosen that up. And now on the bar here, right here, I'm going to put my adjustable wrench. Let's see if I can back this up for you. And that way there, we'll be able to loosen that up just enough. Perfect. So now all I have to do is twist this, and you'll see that the old one, this nut will stay in place, and the old one will come out. Just like that. And then what you do is just take your new one and put it in. And we're going to do the same thing for the other side. I'll tighten it up after. Put this side in the vise. If you don't have a vise, then you're going to have to use this. There's a knock on this bar here where you can fit your wrench on. Put your wrench on one side, and then you would have to use the other one to loosen this up. once you have that loosened up, then you can put your wrench on here and loosen up the tie rod end. I'm just going to use the vise, it's just easier for me. So now this one goes the opposite way. So this is righty. That's how you loosen this nut up. You got to go right. And let me just move that over so you can see it. So what I did was, this is the opposite thread here. So right, just loosen up a little bit. And the same thing, that once you have that loosened, this rod also spins the same way, right? I know it's the opposite, so that looks pretty good. Let's grab the other one. It's giving me a hard time going on. There we go. Yeah, so I was spinning it on the wrong way, of course. Anyways, there you go. That's on there. Now, like I said, now what you got to do is take your final measurements back to where they were, so you can tighten all these up and put it back to where you had it. Stand by for a second, and I'll show you. Okay, welcome back. So here we are. I did measure it. It's exactly where I want it here, 15.5 inches. So what I'm going to do is just put one end of my wrench here. I'm just using an adjustable wrench, and the other end on the other one, the other side here. And what you want to do is just tighten it up. Perfect. And now do the same thing for the other side. And now this has to lay flat. So I know I'm casting shadows here, but you want it to lay flat as such. So this end here is flat, and this end here is flat. So let's do the same thing for this side. Put your wrench on this end. Hand tight. It's perfect. That's perfect. It's kind of where you want it, guys. Just like that. And here you are. This is the assembled tie rod end here. I measured, like I said, from here to here. I have exactly what I had before, and I checked the inside measurement. In a minute here, it should be the same exact thing. If it's not, just you can twist this side. You could twist around. You can move this around till you get it pretty close. It doesn't have to be exact, but you want it pretty as close as possible. And the same thing with the other one. You want both of them to be about the same size. And that's pretty much it. So you just do the same exact thing to the other one, and once I get the other one done, I'll go ahead and put them back on. And that's pretty much it, folks. I hope you learned something. If you have any comments, leave them below. I'll answer them. And remember, if funk can do, so can you. Peace.